Earlier this year, we did a survey about users' perception of authenticity, particularly around AI. Um, and not surprising, it was a big concern. It was a really big concern. So I guess what I would throw out to you guys is how can DAM help reduce that concern or eliminate that concern from a company's perspective and then ultimately from a consumer's perspective.
Ralph, we need to hear you.
That's all right. Yeah. Um,
You have a
yeah.
definite.
Good question. Yeah. I mean, again, we're dealing with the theoretical and the reality here. In theory, you've got a dam that stores all of these versions of assets, and there's an audit trail, and everything is nice and logged and transparent, and there's governance and all the rest of it. But in reality, I'm, I'm going to use an I'm going to try very hard not to use a bit of choice Anglo-Saxon here, I have to say, but yeah, it's nonsense. That's the polite way of putting it. So yeah, in theory, it could do all that and it could help out with that sort of stuff, but I don't think the vendors don't have the architecture isn't there with a lot of systems. If it is there, there isn't the vision with the implementation of it to do it properly. But so yeah, in theory, you could use the dam to do all this, but I don't think that's going to happen. Um, I mean, I have some other points and some wider points about AI, but I'll save that for another question. Um, but yeah, that's in theory, yes, the dam could assist quite a lot with this, but I don't think it actually will because I don't think there is the motivation on the user side or the vision on the vendor side, and it's up to us to do something about that. I think as consultants.
Well, tactically, Mark, I mean, you could, at the metadata level, you could start doing that. And there are improvements being made. We're all very familiar with C2PA, content authenticity. For those of you who are listening to this, who may be going, C2, what is that? Check that out, please, as a gift for the holidays from all of us to you. Go check out C2PA, please, going forward. But the metadata is one level where you could say, within the metadata fields, like this is the original, this is from this individual, this is for this purposes, etc. So the metadata could be that place to sort of show that authenticity. Trust is an emotion. It's a human word. It's a thing that we have. That's a different thing. And I think to help work on that is the governance. Now, again, here we are in 2025. I still see people who are like, oh, we should do governance. We should do that. Let's do that next year. Oh my goodness. Why are you not doing it already? So governance is another mechanism I think that an organization can put in places to say,
this is reality. And this is what we saw at Ondam. So we were used to say, and it's not coming from us, but from our CEO of Mission years ago, who was saying the success is 5% of technology and 95% of people and processes. And everything is happening, between the chair and the keyboard. Okay,
sure.
On time.
And people come out of this line, people, process, technology. How long's that one been in circulation? 20, 25 years? It's just, and it's 95% people, but actually 95% of the time is spent on technology.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I think by the way, it's always whatever the technology, whether the term, DAM, PIM, etc., CMS, etc. We are always struggling with the governance, for sure. It's all about the maturity of the people. So also something we see maybe more in Europe compared to the US is I'm just sometimes very tired to see that you can get 3-4 DAM systems inside the company. I do understand that you get one for marketing communication and one for heritage. It makes sense. But very often, just because sometimes people, they want to, or more or less because someone is coming, they want to do something. And we have some retailers, they have multiple DAM systems. So I'm not sure it is leveraging the DAM, because at the end of the day, you know what I see here? Because people are lost. and all the assets are coming back to SharePoint. And sometimes I think maybe the best vendor in the world of regarding sales is maybe Microsoft. So, and in the meantime, we know that it doesn't work. It's search is not working. Everything is terrible. So, DAM for sure is. I think since a couple of years we are trying, and this is also our job, just like everybody around the table. We need to explain the impact, the benefits, the governance, etc., to make the dam successful. Something we can say the dam great again, or maybe.
So if I understand what I just heard, this is not something you guys are predicting that will happen in 2026. It should happen in 2026, but likely vendors are not ready to actually make this happen in 2026.
I'm always watching the JP Morgan chart, which is more or less the next 10 years evolution of technology, okay? And finally, after the years, you see some shift inside the technology. We know how it's done. In the meantime, you need to process everything. Maybe it's not so good for our way of life of the planet at one time. We see some also just NVIDIA, the 5 trillion company here, putting more and more money in ChatGPT. So sometimes I'm not sure if we are really able to control something. By the way, I can see for the next year, the DAM market is super fragmented, for sure. And I think that Raf we have a list, my goodness, just like this, okay? We know the chief market, as you said, with 25,000 of things. Some of them are dying, some of them we have new solutions. But by the way, at the end of the day, it's AI is creating a shift in the technology because you have to pay for that. We have the example of very smart French vendors that maybe John discovered during a DAM. I like to say them because they don't have the exposure they need, just like Agilia, Ifotodam, etc. They are working with students. They are working to make something different, okay? But at one time, they don't have the money to do this integration, And on the other side, you have some DAM vendors. I will not say the name because they are more or less you just taking all the guys at the top right of Gartner. They are buying some other companies. They are doing fast integration. They are putting 100 million in 6 months, etc. So what is an incredible user experience? So it looks like that if you don't have the money, it looks like already a challenge. And one of my fears may be to see always the same usual suspects, and we see more and more in RFP winners, more and more the same guys. So it's really a challenge for the vendors, and especially on our side, the market is getting slow regarding a couple of things. Or I don't know, but it's regarding vision and strategy, or it's difficult for me to say what will happen in 1 year. To be honest, I'm just hoping to be there, and for the rest, I will see.